to the bathroom looked like. It was just bad. We had multiple break-ins. It was a big, big headache. Make sure my face doesn't look all crazy. So like, yeah, had to get a new roof on there. Had a contractor that like ended up like disappearing on me. So like, so I gotta go to the very end. Yeah, see what it looks like now.
Oh, wait a minute, there we go.
So now you look at it, and it's like, bro, like, that's a decent looking house.
Right.
Like, all right, we really created something out of nothing.
Right.
And so now I don't really see too many hopeless situations. And so I think going through Oakman prepared me for this. And the crazy thing is you look up and it's better.
Yeah, I know. I was here about a month ago, and it looks even, it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was a lot of work needed to be done, but like even to see it now, it's like, oh yeah, I feel like we almost done.
Once you put the floors in here,
right,
it's gonna look like a luxury HGV. Right. The floors set it off. The floors set it ooff, and then the cabinets too. Get some appliances in here, man. Get my little pendant lights dropping down there. My little pendant light or chandelier right there. Because this is gonna be like a light that kind of hangs in the kitchen. I want to put an island here. I still can. I just don't know if I want to spend that money. But I wanted to put like an island here. And I was gonna have my electrician come in and put a plug in there so they can still use it. And then I was gonna just put the sink inside the island. But the plumbing's right there, so the plumber have to come in, and I'm pretty sure it's doable. All they have to do is like move it from there to there. Mm-hmm. But everything, and that's another thing, is everything is doable. There's nothing they can't do. Like when you start really looking at like what a house is, and you start realizing like, what we see is an electrical bias, but really what it is, if you take all this out, it's just wires running through the whole house. That's it. It doesn't just exist. You got wires that run through the whole house and connect to that main box. Right. That's it. Right. And with plumbing, you got a big pipe that goes down to the main stack. And then you got the big hot water tank that feeds from the water, and that just goes to different parts of the house. It's not that deep. It's like a body. That's why I say it's like a body. Yeah. And then you just got to make sure you get the roof. The roof is straightforward. So it's like, if you look at that, and then, so the way I did it though, is I didn't start with the heavy rehab. The first house we bought was turnkey. So the first house that we bought, it was, I want to say, it literally required no work. And we did that on purpose. We were looking at different homes and getting intimidated by the rehab because we'd never done a rehab and we're scared. And so we bought a house that looked like an old, they moved up. All we did was clean the carpet, get the house cleaned, and move out our junk, move the tenant in there. That's it. Got it for a good deal too, like $17K. The next property, I was like, all right, we could take a little bit more. So the next property was a cosmetic rehab. All we had to do was paint it, put new floors down. It was basically a rent turn. Boom. That was our next experience with the rehab. The next property was tenant occupied. And so we're always trying different things. We didn't just stick with one thing. So tenant occupied, no rehab required, but it was also inheriting a tenant. That was an experience in itself. Did that. The fourth property, I might be missing one, but one of them was a burnout property. I literally bought it. No, the fourth property was Oakland. Fourth property was Oakland. That was our heaviest rehab. It took a long time to get that house done. A lot of frustration throughout the process, but I realized, like, man, we took that from that to this. Like, what else can we do? Right. And so then the next challenge was a fire damage property. And so that was like the big kahuna, like fire damage. Oh my God, and man.
What that? Oh yeah, like the other one. Yeah.
I got all my pictures. I keep my pictures. Right. I got the receipts. Where is this house? This house is called Tracy. So that house is a fire damage property. So, and this actually was a very quick rehab for the condition that it was in. The whole ceiling was burned out. We literally had to rip the top off and reframe it. Gotcha. And so like, as you're doing this, you're developing a muscle. And you kind of like approach stuff way differently now. Like, I don't see a hopeless situation in real estate anymore. Now I just feel like anything can be conquered. It just takes money and time and the right connections. That house, the kitchen didn't exist. It was literally burned out. The bathroom didn't exist. It was literally burned out. Like, it was bad. And it got done. All it took was some checks. And we got that done for like $30K, which is crazy. I need to contact that contractor. But look at that. Like, most people would run into that, but you gotta figure, when I got to that, I'd already gotten through Oakland. Nothing scared me anymore. Right. So I've gone through a land bank property, I've gone through a fire damage property. See, what makes you think I'm gonna get intimidated by this? Right. That's why I didn't even have to see it in person. It's like, I know, what's the rehab number? What's the acquisition price? What's the ARV? Okay, let's get it done.
Yeah, so like, did you, throughout these times, do you still have relationships with people that were working with you then, or is it like...
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of. Some people have fallen off due to pandemic reasons. But the contractor who did the open house, he's supposed to be helping me with the foundation, but we weren't friends for a while. He actually sold me the Tracy house. I got the house for like $1,000. He sold me the Tracy house. If you guys can get it, go to the land bank. Why don't you guys go to the land bank and get a house?
I mean, I've thought about that.
Go to the land bank, buy a house, and just learn the rehab process.
Cause that's what we had a guy. We got some work done at our personal home, and he took so long doing the floors.
Yeah.
That he became a friend because he was just there so much. But he was cool, and I think the work was a little more than he thought it was gonna be. Long story short, he just pops up one day like, "Yeah, I just bought a house in the land bank," and we're like, "You did?" He was like, "Yeah, how much you pay?" He's like $2,000, and I'm like,
"Get you a land bank house."
And I'm like, "What's your plan?" And he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start working on it, But he knows how to do like most of the work himself, so he wasn't immediate just like. But I'm like, yeah. So I think one of my fears was like, how lenient are they on like if you plan on actually living in it yourself?
They're very lenient.
Okay.
Very lenient, and they play tough, but they ain't that tough.
Gotcha.
Like honestly, it took us a long time to get our land bank house in condition, and then we were really struggling trying to get it past the permitting phase. And I got a phone call one day from this lady. She was like, "Hey, I see your house is sitting here. It needs to get checked off the list." I was like, "Man, I've been trying to get that house checked off the list, following different checklists. One time it's in one checklist, the next time it's another checklist." I was like, "What do I gotta do?" She was like, "Send me pictures of all 4 sides. Send me a picture of the kitchen. Send me a picture of like a bill, and that there's a tenant in there, like a lease or something, and I'll clear it off." I sent the information, got cleared off the next day. So they've gotten more lenient. Land bank is a great opportunity because you don't have to do a land bank house to this level. Like, you can literally go in there. The standards are super lenient. They just want like a working hot water tank. They probably want, I don't think they even care about the furnace. Working hot water tank, maybe a furnace. But I've been able to get furnaces for super cheap. Hot water tank super cheap. I can get that done for like $5K. Like hot water tank, $1,500. Furnace, depending on if you have the duct work. I've actually got that cheaper than that. So, you can do all that stuff, and then you go to Home Depot, get the basic cabinets, throw them in there. Right. We get you a countertop, throw it in there. Get you some peel and stick floor. Get you some basic floor that you can do. But the thing is, you're developing the muscle. So now, not only are you going to be a better investor, you're also going to be a better wholesaler because you know what it takes.
Exactly.
And you're going to be able to be a better just vetting of deals. And so, a lot of this real estate stuff is just building the muscle of real estate. It's not so much like magic. Like, I forgot that I've done all that stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just made up front like, hey, dude, like, I mean, because the thing about it, man, that's I really admire is like, I mean, you got enough information to be out here really teaching people. Like, you could
probably so, yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? And it's like, but it's just interesting because you got so many different lanes, bro. But I think all in all, like, man, you really just an example of like building black wealth. Like, people really, I always admire that. And it's like, man, you already putting work in. Like, this dude, like, out here in the D. I knew this wasn't your first time, but I didn't know you had like, you've been really doing this for a while.
I thought everybody knew that.
I mean,
we got a bunch of stuff out here. Like,
wow.
Yeah, this isn't it. I also got a house in River Rouge that I need to get some plumbing work done on. We got a lot of homes out here.
That's cool, man.
But that's why, like, I think the opportunity for you will be the land bank.
Okay.
And just developing that muscle and becoming more fearless. I was talking to my mom and she was like super fearful all the time. And I was like, I jumped out of a plane, and ever since I jumped out of a plane, not too much scares me anymore.
I did that too.
When?
I did it like, me and my wife did it, bro.
When?
Like 2018.
Okay. How did you feel afterwards?
Man, I loved it. So my wife, I meant to, I think
you did bring it up.
Yeah, I think I meant to say it somewhere, but like, it was her idea. We was out in Cali, and I did it in San Diego. I think Skydive San Diego.
Okay. Was it over some water, in the water area?
No, we weren't over water, but it's so close to Mexico. Like, when you up there, you could see like Tijuana.
That's dope.
And it was her idea, man. So I wasn't like scared to do it, but I was like, man, I ain't got it. But it was an amazing experience, man. Yeah. Amazing. And like, similar to what you were saying, I had a friend out there, another business coach of mine back in the day. He was just like, yeah, man, do it. Like, I got enough a tank with sharks to like face fear. He did something crazy. He was so excited we were doing it. Oh man, I almost want to come. Him and his wife were gonna try to come out there too. They couldn't make it. He was like, man, I would love to do that. I did it once. I want to do it again. And
it's crazy,
man, dude. Like when I did it, I don't know how you was like coming down. Like it was like a lot of pressure on my head. Did you feel that when you were coming down? Like,
not really.
Okay.
Not really.
My wife didn't have that experience, but I did. I was like, man, I couldn't almost breathe for a second.
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't really feel that.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
weirdest thing for me was just that immediate drop. Like the immediate drop,
Mm-hmm.
and then like after that drop, you kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like you're falling, but you're not really falling.
Right. Yeah, it's like you floating down.
Yeah, and it's like, and you're looking down, and the ground is so far beneath you that you know you're safe.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, you feel very secure when you just kind of like, but yeah, that free fall. Oh man, I can't even describe it to people.
I think that because when I was watching videos, they have like a little trailing chute. I'm not sure what they call it. You probably know what they call it. And so, like, after you descend for a little while, then they throw that up, and that kind of slows you down a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Because there's definitely a big difference between when I first fell out the plane and then when I was, like, flying through the air.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it was like, I don't know if it's the first 30 seconds of just free falling or so many meters or whatever, but like, yeah, you first falling, it's like, I mean, because even when you on the, like, I don't know, was there a lot of people on the plane?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so like,
I thought it was just going to be me. Nah,
right.
I had people there who were, like, going by themselves, too.
Oh yeah, I
got
got to talk to people like that
some
too.
folks just,
Yeah.
like, jumped out. Like, what? What are y'all doing? Y'all not supposed to be jumping out of these planes, jumping in the air, knowing we going up there for that, but you still, like, kind of shocked, like, bro, don't do that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, nah, watching you do it, like, made me want to do it again.
I think I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna try to take my wife and see if she's down for the free fall.
yeah, man, no, it was a great experience. We did it in Cali too, man, in San Diego.
Gotta make sure you do it in a reputable area. We're going to Curacao, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do it out there.
Right.
That might be like a low-key third world country.
Yeah.
Off the resort.
Right.
You over there jumping out there with somebody who's making $10 a week. Like, that's probably not a good idea. You ain't got much to lose.
Yeah, be careful. You know, another thing we had did, which wasn't really, you know, definitely not as close to as fearful. You ever been into a cave before? Going to some
Never
caves?
done that. They have those in Curacao, I think.
Okay, yeah,
Ain't
we
they,
were,
like,
we were
pretty
in
big on that stuff?
Tulum. We went to Tulum twice, but we went last for my wife's 30th, and you know, she wanted to go to some caves, and that was it wasn't super scary.
Yeah.
I can't really swim, so it was that was a little scary for me because there was some moments where, like, they try to make sure you know how to swim, but you didn't have to necessarily go out in the water, but the ground wasn't beneath you. If that makes sense, or the rocks and whatnot. But that was interesting too, man.
I couldn't get her to. Maybe she might do that. I don't know. She's so hit and miss. Like, sometimes she's adventurous, and sometimes she's like, nah.
Yeah,
So you never really know.
yeah.
We out. This is
Yeah,
fire though. I
yeah,
like
man.
these, like.
Yeah, send me this one. I got it. You know.